In the quiet of the stratosphere, 5 miles above the Earth, something is watching. You can't see it. You can't hear it. Your radar won't even register a blip. But it knows where you are, who you're talking to, and, thanks to advanced thermal imaging, actually how fast your heart is beating. For as long as humans have fought wars, we have obsessed over the high ground. From the hot air balloons of the Civil War to the U-2 spy planes of the Cold War, the goal was simple: see them before they see us. But in 2026, the game of hide-and-seek has reached a terrifying new peak. We have transitioned from sky spotters, men with binoculars in cockpit seats, to advanced AI spy aircraft that don't just watch the world, they interpret it. Today, we're tracing the lineage of the ghosts in the machinery. We're going from the early days of primitive reconnaissance to the modern era of autonomous sentinels that can stay airborne for months. This is the evolution of stealth, the death of privacy, and the rise of the AI spy. The Sky Spotter era, eyes in the clouds. Before the silicon chip, surveillance was a gut-wrenching, high-stakes gamble. In the early 20th century, stealth didn't exist. If you wanted to see behind enemy lines, you flew a plane over them and hoped you were too high or too fast to be shot down. Think of the SR-71 Blackbird. It was a masterpiece of Cold War engineering. Its version of stealth was sheer, unadulterated speed. It flew so fast that by the time a surface-to-air missile was launched, the Blackbird was already in another zip code. But these planes were massive, loud, and required a human pilot to risk their life for a few grainy photographs. The Sky Spotter era was defined by the human eye. If a cloud moved in the way, the mission failed. If the pilot blinked, the target was missed. The data was physical. Rolls of film that had to be dropped from the sky and caught by mid-air recovery planes. It was romantic. It was dangerous. And by modern standards, it was incredibly slow. The birth of the ghost, geometry versus radar. The true shift towards stealth didn't come from a faster engine. It came from a math equation. In the 1970s, Lockheed engineers realized that if you angled the surfaces of a plane just right, you could bounce radar waves away from the source instead of back to it. Enter the F-117 Nighthawk. It looked like a crumpled piece of black paper, but on a radar screen, it had the signature of a small bird. This was the first time we successfully hacked the sky. For the first time, the observer was truly invisible, but even then, the plane was just a platform for a camera. It still required a human to look at the screen and decide what was important. The intelligence was still human. The stealth was still just physical. As we moved into the 2000s, the military realized that being invisible wasn't enough. To dominate the modern era, the plane needed to be more than a ghost, it needed to be a brain. The rise of the drone, persistence is power. The introduction of the MQ-1 Predator and the MQ-9 Reaper changed the psychology of surveillance. Suddenly, the Sky Spotter didn't have to go home for dinner. Drones brought the concept of unblinking persistence. A human pilot gets tired. A human pilot has to pee. A drone doesn't. A drone can circle a target for 24 hours, watching every movement, every meeting, every mundane detail of a target's life. But this created a new problem. Data drown. By 2015, the U.S. Air Force was collecting so much video footage that it would take a human lifetime to watch just 1 day's worth of data. The eye in the sky was seeing everything, but the brain on the ground couldn't keep up. The evolution of stealth reached a bottleneck. We could hide our planes, but we couldn't process our secrets. The AI revolution, the sentient wingman. Now, we enter the modern era 2026. The bottleneck has been broken. The advanced spy aircraft of today, like the secretive ARC-180 or the Loyal Wingman platforms, are no longer just remotely piloted vehicles. They are autonomous AI nodes. Today's AI spy aircraft don't just record video, They perform edge computing. The AI onboard the aircraft scans the ground in real time. It uses computer vision to identify a specific make of car, a specific gait of a person walking, or a specific type of anti-aircraft battery. It doesn't send 24 hours of video back to base. It sends a notification. Target confirmed at coordinates X, Y. Probability 99.8%. This is the advanced AI spy, a machine that filters the noise of the world and delivers only the signal. Stealth is no longer just about hiding from radar, it's about hiding in the data. Signature management. Hiding in plain sight. In 2026, radar-absorbing paint is old news. Modern stealth is about signature management. An advanced AI aircraft can now manipulate its own heat signature and electronic emissions to blend into the background noise of the atmosphere. Some of these craft use IVE camouflage, thin lead-like skins that project the color and light of the sky above onto the belly of the plane, making it visually transparent to someone looking up from below. But the most terrifying evolution is cyber stealth. These AI aircraft can now spoof the enemy's radar. They don't just disappear, they make the radar see 5 planes instead of 1. Or they make the radar see a flock of birds. They are gaslighting the very sensors meant to detect them. The Sky Spotter has become a magician, pulling a shroud over the eyes of the entire world. The black box problem: who is watching the watcher? As we push the boundaries of AI surveillance, we face a new psychological and ethical frontier. When an autonomous aircraft makes a decision to track a target or prioritize one threat over another, we are often looking at a black box. Even the programmers don't always know exactly why the AI's neural network flagged a specific person as a high-value target. We have handed the keys of global surveillance over to an intelligence that doesn't think like us. In the era of Madoff, the scam was human. In the era of the Sky Spotter, the war was human. But in the era of the AI spy, the surveillance is algorithmic. We are building a world where the sky is filled with invisible, thinking machines that know our secrets before we even realize we have them. The ghost in the machine, a new world order. We have come a long way from men in balloons with sketch pads. The evolution of stealth has moved from the physical to the digital, and finally, to the cognitive. Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you want to see our deep dive into the silent subs, the underwater version of this stealth revolution, click the video on your screen right now. See you in the next one, and remember, just because you can't see it, doesn't mean it isn't there.